Hi guys, welcome to my tutorial on data structures and algorithm in Java. This is episode 1, and in this episode I'll just be taking you through the basic syntax of Java, and you know Java as an object-oriented programming language, and then the various data types in Java and how to print stuff, just the basics. Yeah, so Java is object oriented. That means you can't do anything procedural. That means you can't just start typing instructions and run them. It wouldn't work. Before you get your code to run in Java, you need to create a class, and that is the essence of object oriented programming. So, in order to do so, let's create our class. Let's say public class, and we call it main. So, now in Java, once you create a class, it should be opening with a curly braces and also end with a curly braces, hence this. So now that we have our class, let's see what we can do. So when you have your class, Java has what it called the main method. So anytime you run your class, it only runs what is inside the main method. So let's create our main method here, and the main method has this syntax. So we have public static void main. So then it takes a parameter which is something like this string. Then we have the square braces args. So this is an args array. We'll get into that later. So let's just leave that for now. But in most of your Java codes, you need to have something like this. This is the basic structure, just like the skeleton form of a Java code. So as I said, I'll be taking you through the various data types, right? So in Java, if you want to create a variable, you need to specify the data type. For instance, if I want to create an integer, I can't just say, so if I want to create an integer named, let's say, num1, I can't just type num1 is equal to, then assign it, let's say, 1. Nope, this wouldn't work, and you can see num1 is red here. That is because Java doesn't know the type. So in order to solve this, you need to specify the data type. So we know num1 as a variable is supposed to be an integer because it's assigned to 1, right? So we specify that this variable will always be an integer. So we say int, then we have num1, and you can see that the error is gone. So that is how you specify integers. If you want to create a string, then you have to start with a string, but the string starts with capital S, not small. And you can see my IntelliSense showing string here. So I can just say string str1 is equal to. Now we mostly in Java we put strings in double quotes. So we have, let's say, my string is here, and you realize there's still a red underline here. That is because you need to end every Java statement with a semicolon. So let's add our semicolon here. Then now you can see it is done. So we have two variables here. Num1 assigned to 1, a string which is str assigned to my string is here. So we also have another data type called the double. So the double is more like a form of floating point number, but it has double precision. So it takes more space compared to the int. That is why it's called double. And double can be assigned to, let's say, 2.0, 5.0, 5.55, and other stuff. So let's say I create a variable and then double. So let's use double 1 and assign it to 1 and see what will happen. Realize it's underlined, but let's try this 1.0, then it is sorted. So double is more like a precise version, and once you begin to perform operations, you will begin to see the difference between these. So let's create more variables. So I have int num1, right? Let me create another one called num2. So I paste this because it's also num1. Java doesn't allow that, so now let's call it num2 and assign it to, let's say, 2. I'm going to create another string and call it str2. Okay, so str2, and then let's say, so this one will say my string is here, so let's add this: to teach you Java guitar. Don't worry, these statements don't have to make sense. I'm just putting some dummy strings there. Alright, so let's create another double. So we have dub2, and let's assign that to 2.0. Anyway, that shouldn't be your GPA. Alright, so now let's perform various operations on them and see what we can get. But before we do that, let's try printing out something. So this Java syntax for print. Now mind you, you can't print outside this main method. Yes. So if you are used to a procedural programming concept, or let's say you are used to Python, right? So all in Python you could just do num1 is this and start printing. Yeah, but in Java you need to specify these things before and then do whatever you do in Python inside this main method. Okay, so to print Java, you don't just print like that. You have to go by this system.out.print before you then pass whatever you want to print into the variable. So let's say I just want to print num1, then I do this, and remember always end it with what? Semicolon. Okay, so now that we have this system.out.print, then we have num1. So let's try to run our code. So I click on the run, so it is building and stuff, and this might take a couple of seconds to print the outcome. So while we are waiting for it to print, let's try doing other stuff. So I'm going to create, okay, let's not create actually, because if I create, I'll specify the data type. Anyway, this thing has done printing, so you can see that it has printed 1 here, and that is num1, which was assigned to 1. Now let's do some divisions inside this method. So we want to print num1 over num2. So this is bad. I did num1 over 2, which would have been 1 over 2, alright, but we just want to use our variable. So num1 divided by num2. Okay, so num1 over num2, I know you have expected answers, right? But let's run and you see what would happen. Wow, we had 0. I know some of you are expecting to see, let's say, 0.5 because 1 over 2 is 0.5. Yeah, but that isn't the case because num1 is an integer, num2 is an integer. So when it divides, it floors them. So floor is more like rounding it down to the nearest whole number because these are both integers. So automatically it divides them using integer division. If I rather do this, so let me just copy this and now put dub1 and dub2 so that we see the difference. So DUOB1, then we have DOUB, okay, 2. Wow, did I say DUOB? DOUB, yeah. Okay, so now let's run this and see. So it will print the answer for this and print the answer for the other one. Now I realize that we have 0, then we have 0.5. Yeah, so the double one gives 0.5 because once you do a floating division, that is 1.0 over 2.0, then it gives you the answer in double. So it's like it takes the data type and does the division pertaining to that particular data type. Now I realize that this 0 and this 0.5 are attached. That is because you use system.out.print. So print will always append and print all of them on the same line. So if you want each print to be on a different line, you use print ln or print line, depending on how you call it. Yeah. So now we have system.out.println instead of system.out.print. And now let's see what happens after running. So you realize that now we have 0 up and 0.5 now. Okay, that is great. Now let's try to do something with our strings too. So we've done the double and stuff. Now let's look at the strings too. So for strings, you can also perform string concatenation. That is, you just append the two strings. So we can have this. So control V system.out.println. Then we have, let's say, str1. Then we use a plus. Then we have str2. Yeah. So it will just take str1 and str2 and concatenate them. Now realize that here there's no space, so let me just add a space in here just to have a nice print. Okay, so let's run this. Then now you can see that it has printed for this, it has printed for this, and now it is coming to print for this, which is my string is here to teach you Java guitar. Yeah. So at the end of this tutorial, you should be a Java guitarist. Anyway, so now that you know how to concatenate strings, let's look at more methods for the numbers. So we have integer. So we just looked at division because I wanted to show you what happens to the results, because when it has decimals, it will always round them down for int and give you the precise one for double. So mostly use the double when you want double precision. Now let's look at addition. So addition in Java is just plus, and then let's do subtraction for the double one. Subtraction in Java is just the normal minus, you know. Now you can't do subtraction for string. No, please don't do that. And you can do division too for string. Nope. We only use addition because we are trying to append the two strings. Okay, let's run this and see. So you realize that yes, num1 plus num2 will give you 3. Then we have dub1 plus minus dub2. So you see you get negative 1.0. Yeah, that is cool. Alright. So here we had str1, right? I can just put my random string there. So I can use I am here. You see, so I've just hard coded my string into the println method, and this would also work. So since we've done addition subtraction, now multiplication is asterisk, not x. So star. And then division, which you've already seen, is slash. So let's say I want to do dub1 over dub2 and add it to num1. So I can do dub1 slash dub2 and then put a plus here and put num1. Yeah. And then let's run this and see what we get. Okay. So the first one, print ln num1 times num2, that's the star. So 1 times 2 is obviously 2. Yeah. Now we have dub1 over dub2. So dub1 over dub2 is like 1.5, 0.5, right? Then we add plus num1, which is 1. So you get 1.5. Now mind you, if you are doing any operation involving double and integers, most the answer is returned in double because double has more precision than integer. Then you can see what we did here. I am here, then which is a hard coded string. Then we have plus str2, which is this. So you see there's no space because I didn't add a space here, which is cool. Okay, so this is basically some of the methods you use in Java. The data type. So remember, you have to state your data type, and always you should have after stating your data type, you should have a semicolon at the end of every line. Yes. Now one more thing before we go. Since this is an integer, we can have dub1 comma and num1 comma num2, but that is if you don't assign them to anything. Then this should also work because they are both integers. So now that you have num1 and then num2, you can then come down and assign them and say, let's say num1 is equal to 5, num2 is equal to 3. Yeah. So here we just created the data types, the variables. We didn't assign them to anything. So by default, integers are assigned to null, strings are assigned to empty strings and stuff. Integers are assigned to 0, yes, when you don't assign them to anything. So at the moment there's nothing there, and now we've assigned them to stuff, and then let's run this and see what we get. So you realize that after that we have num1 as 5, num2 as 3, so 5 times 3 you get 15, then 5 over 3 and plus actually this is 0.5, right? 1.0 over 2.0, which is 0.5, plus 5, which is 5.5. Yeah, and then we have I am here to, yeah, to Java. Thank you for watching this episode, and look out for my next episode, which I will be uploading soon. Have a nice day.